Buenas tardes. I am walking on the Cinta Costera and I want to show you we have an outdoor gym. I know. If you log on a little bit later, you would have missed it. But we do have outdoor gym where people go and they work out, especially if they live in a building that does not have a gym. I am walking on the Cinta Costera. We had, it's about 5 o'clock. We had our monthly meetup. Now I am holding my phone, so hopefully it's not jiggly. And let's see, we had 2 young police officers come talk to us. It was so cool because the police officer that I thought was going to do it, somebody who spoke English. This is the Cinta Costera. This is why people love this part of Panama City. And that's my neighborhood. That tall building up there, that's my home. And giving you a 360. Yes, that's the path. We walk, we jog, we bike. And every night, not every night, every weekend, there would be, hola, I'm wearing my shades so I can't read who it is. So, listen, to find a policeman who could speak English, the one who came, one is Officer Brown, and he's of Jamaican descent. So and then he brought somebody else, and I was like, oh, I thought it was someone else. And I said, but you're more handsome. And we had a packed house. We had 19 sisters. It was a bit difficult to find a room in that part of the city, the old city, that could hold that many people indoors, because we have lots of bomberos, fire truck, Benemerito Cuerpo de Bomberos. Yes, that's how they say firefighter, bombero. And so I had a bit of a time finding a room that could hold all of us in air conditioning, right? But I was lucky I found that place. Oh, is it shaking a lot? Okay, let me hold my bag down so my hands don't move too much. And so that took me a little while. And of course, with all those bodies in there, it was a little bit warm and in very, we were all kind of together. So it was a little bit tight. But the ladies didn't mind. And then he brought another officer with him. And it turns out the other officer had his name tag. And he says, Je Juste. And I was like, with that name? I'm like, are you French? And he said, yes, I'm of Haitian descent, but I was born here. I'm like, oh my God. What is the likelihood that I would find? And look at this skyline, you guys. Look. This is why people love Panama City, okay? So I was like, wow. And then he said, I was born here. And both of them, one from Jamaican descent, one from Haitian descent. And he said, oh, and my parents live here. I was born here. And I'm like, I haven't met too many of us. I'm like, you need to give your mom my name. I need to meet your mom. That was so cool. And he was so sweet and soft-spoken. So we made contact. So they talked to us about safety, some of the areas that are not too safe to stay away from. And the idea is to use common sense for us not to be out there at night. And one sister was like, well, I was walking in that area and it was late at night and nobody bothered me. And I'm like, that's good, but don't tempt fate, right? Now, this is new. Look at this. We're seeing this for the first time. A recycling station. Vidrio, glass, paper, carton, plastic, latas, cans, botellas, plastic. Oh my God. Look at that. Recicla, reutiliza, transforma. Centro de reciclaje. Now, see? Panama is trying, y'all. They're trying. So, alright. Somebody had asked me to do a tour of the Cinta Costera. Now, this part on Sunday is full of vendors. They have hot dogs, hamburgers, salsichas, which is sausages that they sell, lots of drinks. And one thing that is very popular here is raspao, which is the shaved ice with all kinds of syrup and condensed milk and something that looked like coffee creamer. I think I've had it 2 or 3 times and I said, I can't, too much sugar. Now, this is the bay, right? This is the bay. And look at these rocks there. And that's the causeway over there on the right. And you get the pan view of the skyline. And the very tall building is where I live. Ah! So good. You can also find pipa fria. Pipa fria is coconut, fresh coconut, cold. You can get one for like $1.50. And I'm gonna show you. This young man is selling them. Fresh coconut. Yes, coconut. Yes, gracias. She's peeling mango. You know, they'll peel the mango and then they'll slice them and they'll put them in a cup. We have some vendors who sell fresh squeezed orange juice, especially, you know, kind of Saturday and Sunday. They always have some kind of an event, meaning, you know, they have running clubs, they have bicycles, motorcycle, not so much here. But this is a busy road around rush hour. So it's 5 o'clock. It's fixing to get busy. But anyway, so we had a lovely time. We were at a restaurant that had a rooftop, and I had salmon. The salmon was cooked perfectly, and it was on top of potato puree with some shaved vegetables. I would have loved to just have plain vegetables. Am I moving too much? I'm sorry. And then he had a sauce that he made. This is a restaurant owned by some fancy chef. And I have to say, from one chef to another, the food was amazing. And then he made like this kind of sauce from bero. Bero is watercress. And and they had some of the sisters had like a cream corn kind of soup that was amazing. Everybody said everything was amazing. One sister said her shrimp was a bit overcooked, but otherwise, in terms of flavor, it was on point. Now, I am walking. I'm in my kind of fancy clothes. Hola. And I am a little bit, I'm going to be sweating. And that's why, you know, you think it's really warm, but it's very shaded right now. So, and then around here we have benches. People sit. Sometimes you see boyfriend and girlfriend, one sitting on top of each other. So this is what they call the Cinta Costera. On Sunday from 6 to 2, they close one side of the road so people can jog, run, bike. So that's nice, right? So we left. Oh, and then after the meeting, we went to have dessert. That's why it's 5 o'clock. And this girl's like, oh, let's go get cheesecake. I'm like, oh my God. You know I don't do dessert. But I said I could use a cappuccino. I love a cappuccino after meal. I do. And yesterday I had one around 5 o'clock. And I was dreading that I wouldn't go to sleep. But I did. So it depends on the brand. I don't know. I don't know what happens. And why I get, there's another building right next to mine. It's got all the colors. We got plenty of vegetation on the Cinta Costera. It goes all the way to the end. Where you see that tall building? Yes. And then when you turn around and you go all the way that way, it takes you at the juncture where you go to Casco Viejo or Casco Antiguo that I just showed you last week, right? Okay. So we went to that place and, oh, I didn't take a picture of the name. They had this cheesecake that looked like 4 sizes of a ramekin. So I had a cappuccino and I did get a few spoonfuls. They have a classic. They have one with pistachio. They have a dulce de leche. Hola. Gracias. ¿Cómo está, señor? Sometimes catcalling is not something that is foreign. Okay, look at this. You see, it looks like a preserve, but this is Casco Viejo, not Casco Viejo, Cinta Costera, and they tell you what the tree is named. Cali Cophyllum condidissimum. Wow. Okay, you got the Latin name. All right. You see all the greenery, and you see the skyline in the back, and this is the bay. Now my apartment looks out this water, and that's why now we're fitting to get onto the overpass, because I live on the other side, and you do not take your life in your hand and try to cross the street. Nope. The police frowns upon some people who take a chance on that, okay? Let's see. Whew. Cheesecake and cappuccino, yes. Thank you for your live stream. You miss your Panama. Oh, hola everyone. Do not forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Robin. Hola from Florida. Girl, this weather here, I feel like I'm in Florida. But it's kind of cooled off right now a little bit. See, I'm sweating. It doesn't matter where you go. And there is a bus stop right there. That is a bus stop. So when I come from home, I come down here and I walk, and I have to take the bus over there. See, he's selling some stuff. And everybody would say they take Yappy. Yappy is the app that you can pay. All right, this is your view. Yes. Woo. I've taken lots of pictures on this overpass. But a crazy story is that when I first came to Panama, I was scared to get onto this because, here's a birdie. Hola, birdie. I don't like height. So coming here would send me into a hyperventilation, into panic mode. They're building another high rise. That's another skinny one. Yes. Okay, vamos. So I have taken Lots of pictures over here with the bay in the background. Now, you know, we talk about the earthquakes and how everybody who is along the Pacific line is at risk. Well, that is the Pacific you're looking at, okay? So Panama, and so we're smack there in the middle of two oceans. Look at the vegetation. Enjoy the view, the causeway. And did I tell you that the presidential palace is in Casco Viejo? So they do have some areas that are restricted, and they have guards and stuff, and you can't go through. But the reason Casco Viejo is a very nice area is because you have the Office of Tourism Police there, which is where I went to request the speakers, and they have lots of people, police on foot, on motorcycle. They would come through here also, and they would be on their bike, two of them on a bike, you know, just for the presence to be a deterrent. Inside metro stations, you're gonna see police hanging on the corners. You'll see police. The police presence is very okay. This is the spot that was scare me. I could not get on here. Look at that. Just seeing the cars at the bottom used to scare me. Oh my God. And then now I'm saying, look at that. But I still can't get that close. I stay in the middle. And it's the other one. So you see another overpass that way. So every like half a mile or so, you're going to have one. Right? So that's how we cross. We do not. And sometimes on Sunday morning, when traffic is really light, I have crossed. Right? But don't take a chance during heavy traffic. That is our overpass. And they have that red, the sides are painted red. Not all of them look the same. Sometimes, and all the way in the interior, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see the overpass. They might look different. Whew. This is what we have here in this area. But you see the wind? By this time of the evening, there's a breeze that comes from the ocean, and it makes it a little bit, whoo, see? Whoo, whoo, so good, because I'm hot. But I look at it like, I get my steps in, right? So I don't complain. But early in the morning, up to about 4, whoo. But, you know, you just adjust, right? All right. So I had salmon. I had maybe 4 bites of the cheesecake, a cappuccino. I am ready. I have a class at 6. And, okay, I'm going down. It just goes around. And then I'm going to have to cross. There's going to be a light to cross to get to my side. Yep, this is I wore this skirt that I love. And then I got these shoes that are just perfect because I have a little heel. So I'm not walking on my heel and my back doesn't hurt. Yes. Woo! Home sweet home. Yeah. No, there are like 3 or 4 hospitals here, like 2 or 3 blocks away. So we have lots of medical people crossing the road. And then this is the parking lot that that's an overflow for people who work. So this is my neighborhood, y'all. People are walking their dogs. And we have push buttons so we can tell the lights to change. But we have people over there, so I know somebody already pushed it. Otherwise, I'd be pushing this, you know. And I use my knuckle, of course. Oh, there we go. I get to cross. Woo. And you know, sometimes it's not enough time. So, oops. Oops. Yep. I made it. I made it. All right, y'all. So I took you all the way. So you see, if I was saying, oh, I'm going to get an Uber, I would miss it. But I love to walk. So that was today is Thursday, so I didn't work out today. So I'm going to see how many thousands of miles I walked. Yes. All right. I'm nearing home, y'all. So I'm glad. Oh, there's a bus. So when I'm going to take the metro, I turn here on this road. And that's 2 blocks up the metro. And that's it. Sometimes, you see? You gotta be careful. Some of them would come on the left and want to go past. So I'm like, relax, people. All right. All right. I am home. No, I don't need to show you exactly where I live. Let's see. Hola, Maggie. Great time this afternoon. Nice shade of trees. Yes. What phone are you recording on? This is a new Android. It really takes good pictures. Yeah. I love to walk. So, and I think that's one thing I tell people. I don't see a lot of morbidly obese people here in Panama. Lots of people walking. It doesn't matter where you go, you'll see people walking. See, the traffic is getting heavy because it's about 5. And I have my choice of buses. There is a bus stop 2 blocks that way, or 2 blocks that way, or I turn right to get to the metro. This is the kind of thing you look at when you're looking at a place to stay when you come here to live, right? You're looking at accessibility. You have access to buses, metro. Of course, there's always Uber, right? And even the policeman was telling them earlier, do not use those yellow cabs, okay? And I've told people that all the time. But I still see sisters in those cabs. You know what I say? This is a school bus. You see the size? That's usually the size of the school buses. They're not big. And I believe that the parents must pay to pick up the kids. I know they pick them up from our building. So some sisters still use those taxis. And people have gotten mugged and sucker punched. And sometimes some of those drivers, you know, they're not the most straightforward people. So be careful. Use an Uber. And that's what the policeman said. So 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, this sister is like, well, what about if I'm walking with 2 or 3 sisters? Why are you out there at 9 o'clock at night? That's what I want to know. If you go to a party, some people like to listen to jazz or whatever. I felt something on my foot. Just take an Uber. Why risk it? Why? Don't do it, sis. Okay. We talked about using the crossbody. You see, I have, like a little purse. And some people say they put their monies and stuff next to the babies. That's fine too. But I always have a bag with my umbrella, my sweat rag, my fan. I always carry that. Okay. But anyway, I showed you Cinta Costera, Balboa. This is Balboa Avenue. If anybody tells you about Balboa, but Balboa is a very long road. That way is Casco Viejo, Mercado de Mariscos, the fish market, right? And then over this way, if you keep going, you're going towards Paitilla and Punta Pacifica or San Francisco. All right. So, and I tell people, the city is really a big circle. It really is. All right, guys. Hola. I'm going to let you go. And I'll see you. Tomorrow is Friday. I don't know what's happening Friday. So, take care. Thank you for hanging with me and walking me home. Woo! You see how? So, gonna get home, rehydrate. People walking their dogs. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.